I'm on Mount Zion in Jerusalem. And I want to tell you three stories. They're three stories of people whom we've met in the last few days. One is Elliot. Elliot's from Canada. He's in his late 20s, and he works for an organization in Tel Aviv and throughout Israel called Bina. And Bina means wisdom. And the difference to us between knowledge and wisdom is a world of difference. Knowledge is great for the brain, but wisdom changes the heart and changes lives because it somehow transcends our brain and goes into our hands. It teaches us how to live our lives. And Bina is this kind of organization. It's an organization, a yeshiva, and yeshiva is a place of study, Jewish study. But this yeshiva is unique. It's a secular yeshiva. So it's not a yeshiva for people with long beards, black coats, and yarmulkes. It's for anyone who wants to learn the riches of Judaism, and then most importantly, apply it to life and to the world in which they live. So Elliot took us through Jerusalem, or I should say through Tel Aviv, and showed us Bina at work, showed us people in clinics volunteering to help immigrants, showed us people working throughout the city to help those less fortunate, realizing the values of Jewish values and lessons of life. The next person is Amir, and Amir, I would say, is maybe in his late 30s, early 40s. I would say he looks a little older because he's struggling with cancer. But when we met Amir, he sat on a bench under a tree in a kindergarten playground with a couple of kids watching him intently from a hammock next to us. And we gathered on these benches, and Amir held a guitar. And he had set an Arabic poem to music for the kids to learn. Amir is an Israeli, a Jew from the town of Kiryat Tivon, which happens to be my birthplace. And Amir sang this song in Arabic to these Jewish and Arabic kids, Bedouin kids, from two adjacent communities. It's called Ein Bustan. And Ein Bustan is a unique program, but one now of many in Israel, in which Jewish, Israeli, and Arab, or Bedouin in this case, Israeli children are learning together languages and arts and crafts and math and science, realizing that if this generation can grow to love each other through play and through learning as our children do, then imagine what they can do for the next generations and the messages that they bring home to their parents to challenge the assumptions that they have of the other in their lives. The third person is Raif. Raif is an Arab Israeli. He's an Israeli citizen. He's Palestinian. And he lives in a community outside of Jerusalem in which Jews and Arabs, Israeli Jews and Israeli Muslims live, coexist. They have a community of houses together. They have meeting rooms and classrooms where they work to create peace on a micro level in the hope that it'll shift to peace on a macro level. So Raif, it happens, also looks older than he is. He's 59, but he's also struggling with illness of some kind. But what I realize in his story, that I realize in these three stories, is passion. A passion for change. A passion to see the other as ourselves. A passion not to differentiate between who we are and who they are, and therefore to see another human being, or another group of human beings, as less than human. These three people spoke with such passion in their hearts and minds and in their words for the work that they're doing in whatever they have in this world, time, energy, the ability to make change. So that's a story I want to share with you, these three stories from Jerusalem. Because so often, as I did, you turn on the television news and only hear stories of explosions, only hear stories of the worst of humanity. But what I want you to know is the best of humanity sits right in the same holy place.